When I moved here, West Park, the tank was there. There was 4 houses on Lakeway. Not anything else on that side of the road. The old part of Benbrook was there. And we had this land here by the city hall, all the way back to the river, all the way out to the, I call it the go-kart race out there. It's a dairy, and it was mesquite trees. So I seen a lot of change in this town. And I had to learn a lot about the system here. When I moved here, there was 18 water wells. There was 3 elevated tanks. And now there's 7 elevated tanks. And those were done within the years I've worked here.
Some of the big changes I saw while I was here was naturally the community grew. And with the community growing as it did, we had to really expand our water facilities in order to meet the demand of the city.
We built the first part of this building, which is just behind here, and the workshop in the area in the back. That was one of the first things that we did after I got here. Built a lot of storage tanks and things of that nature. Just general improvements to keep up with the population growth.
Personally, it gives me a lot of satisfaction to know that the things that I am doing today are going to make sure that the needs of future citizens and customers are met. I think that the authority has planned very well, but our city is going to grow, and with that growth we need to make sure that the things we're doing now is going to help someone down the road.
Well, when I got here, we were serving, let's say, 4,000 houses, and had the capability of about 3 million gallons a day of water. And when I left 15 years later, that had doubled. Not necessarily the number of families, but the capability of the water plant doubled then, and we started considering getting water out of Lake Benbrook.
At the time, we didn't have water at the ballpark. We didn't have additions over Whitestone. We didn't have additions below West Park. So all of these things were working with the engineering and Fort Worth as far as water supplier to us, and it was the next interesting thing.
We annually look at what's happening in Benbrook. We work very closely with the City of Benbrook and what they're projecting our growth is, and our Economic Development Corporation and what they're doing, so that they're not waiting on us to be able to respond to what they anticipate is growing. And that working relationship is worked out real good.
What we do for the citizens is very important, and I think that we've made strides in 25 years of keeping our rates at a comfortable level, and then they're so comfortable that in the future, if we do have to do something drastic, we are in that position to do so. It seems like I spend most of my time thinking 5 and 10 years ahead instead of yesterday and the day before.
Several years ago, a lot of cities with all the rainfall hadn't done a lot of preparation for a lot of water use in the area, and then the year after, or several years after a lot of rain, we had a lot of drought come in. And then that's when the system started clamoring to put in more storage tanks, larger lines, and all that. And there was a lot of rationing during that time period, not due to the fact of the lake levels being low, but due to the fact that the area cities didn't have the capacity to provide water to their residents. Benbrook at that time, with Benbrook Water Authority operating the system, we didn't have a problem one.
I just keep in mind whenever I get my water bill what that represents. You know, we've expanded the water treatment plant since I've been on the board. That was a humongous investment. And we finished the Zolly Allen water tower. And there's always things going on. And underlying all of this is the cost of rehabbing our sewer and water lines. And we don't want things to be blowing up like you see them in Dallas and other places where the water line just floods the whole area. So we work on that annually. I mean, it's an everyday procedure for us. So I think, you know, this thing works like a well-oiled machine.